You ever have one of those days where your whole life shifts, where you step out into the world, breathing in that crisp, hopeful air, thinking maybe you're finally getting a break. And in the span of an hour, you're already wishing you could stuff everything back in the truck and turn around? Yeah, that was me. Movers had barely cleared the curb. Their diesel smell was still hanging in the air like some kind of warning. My wife, Maya, was inside, singing to herself, unpacking our special occasion plates for the 100th time, plates we'd been saving for a family dinner that never seemed to happen. Me? I was wrangling a new garden hose out front, the kind that comes coiled so tight you'd swear it has a soul and a grudge. And that's when I saw her for the first time, Karen, standing perfectly still across the street, arms folded, face set in that way you know you're about to get judged. She looked less like a neighbor and more like a bird of prey, eyeing a field mouse she didn't care to meet. So I give her the new guy wave, the, hey, I come in peace, please don't egg my house kind of wave. Nothing, not even a nod, just a squint, like she's trying to figure out what kind of disease I might have brought into her kingdom. A few minutes go by, me struggling with the hose and her still giving me the silent treatment, until suddenly she's marching across the street, those orthopedic shoes of hers making no noise at all, like a ghost. Up close, she's all angles, hair wounds so tight it looks painful, eyes that don't blink. She stops right at the edge of my grass, as if stepping 1 inch further might cause some HOA-induced allergic reaction. "You're new," she says. Not a question, just a fact dropped on my welcome mat. Just moved in. I manage, finally winning my war with the hose. I'm Marcus. My wife, Maya, is inside. I stick out a hand, neighborly as I can. She ignores it. Her gaze runs up and down our house like she's appraising cattle. "Karen," she says, with a kind of thunderclap in her voice. "President of the Homeowners Association." Well, great. The Neighborhood Fund Police. I'd skimmed the HOA bylaws before we signed. Enough rules to make you dizzy, but I figured how bad could it be? Karen was here to answer that. "You're welcome, Matt," she says, pointing with a stiff finger at the cheerful, swirly lettered mat Maya picked out. It's not on the approved color list. I blinked. Honestly, I thought she was kidding. A test, maybe like, let's haze the new guy. But her face was pure business. "The welcome mat?" I asked, trying to keep my voice level. I could feel a sarcastic comeback bubbling up. Something about an official mat color wheel, but I swallow it. "First day, don't make waves. Community aesthetic is very important here. It keeps up property values," she says, like she's the curator of a museum. Then she hands me a folded piece of paper, a violation notice. For the mat. 3 hours in a homeownership, and I'm already breaking laws. "You have 48 hours to remove it," she says, just as a shadow falls over us, a big shadow. Here comes Bill, her husband. Massive, face red like he's holding back a yell, and he just barrels right onto my lawn, breaking the imaginary boundary his wife seemed so keen on. He gets so close I can smell coffee on his breath. "You heard my wife," he grumbles. This isn't the kind of place where people do whatever they want. There's something ugly in his eyes, a look I've seen too many times. The kind that doesn't just say you don't belong, but expects you to bow your head and prove otherwise. I'm a black man. I've seen that look all my life. But I don't shrink. I stand tall, drop the hose, and meet his gaze. "I'll look into the bylaws," I say, steady as I can. He takes another step forward, trying to push, to provoke me. Maya's face is watching from the window, worry growing. "That's enough." I shift my tone, no more playing nice. "Anything else?" I ask, all warmth gone. He's stunned. He isn't used to people standing up. Karen puts her hand on his arm. "We've made our point, dear." One last look from her, smug as a cat, and they walk back across the street. I'm left holding the violation slip, heart pounding. Maya slips outside and hugs me. "What was that?" she whispers. "The welcoming committee," I say, watching our new neighbors disappear into their perfect, lifeless house. I crumple the notice in my fist. This wasn't about the mat. This was a test, a power play, and I could see, crystal clear, it was just the beginning. We'd chosen this place with care. Years in a city apartment, sirens for lullabies, car alarms for ambience. We just wanted some peace. I'm a forensic accountant. My job is to spot what people want to hide in a sea of numbers. Maya's a pediatric nurse, an honest-to-God angel. We pinched every penny for a little house on Maple Lane, a 2-story with big windows and a stubborn old oak. Sure, the kitchen was avocado green and the wallpaper made you dizzy, but it felt like a home. My Uncle Mike, retired construction foreman, king of duct tape and bad jokes, gave his official approval. Then, eyeing Karen's and Bill's house, he grins. You got one of those. Neighborhood watch captains of a universe. See that lawn? That's a cry for help. Stay off it, and whatever you do, don't let your trash can linger. We all laughed. Should have known he was right. He brought us a housewarming gift, a bright pink flamingo for the garden. Every house needs a little personality, he says, sticking in the flower bed. That flamingo was gone by sunrise. Vanished. Now, I bet I knew who took it. After the welcome mat drama, we tried to keep our heads down. Maya wanted to just buy an approved mat. I almost agreed, anything for peace. But the part of me that saw Bill's eyes, that knew what they were really testing for, wouldn't let it go. Today it's a mat, tomorrow the color of our front door, next week who we invite over. So I dug into the HOA binder, all 200 pages of it. A highlight, I take notes. I find, buried in the weeds, a clause about homeowners' rights to review the association's financial records. A week later, a certified letter comes. $100 fine for unauthorized modification of exterior property. We hadn't changed anything, except I'd installed a sturdy deadbolt. That's it. Apparently, brushed nickel isn't HOA approved. Maya is anxious. Maybe we should just pay Mark. But I refuse. This is harassment, I tell her. The rules are clear. Maintenance doesn't need approval. This is about sending a message. About power. So I go to the next HOA meeting. Promise Maya, I'll stay calm. The clubhouse reeks of chlorine and resignation. Karen presides like a queen bee. Bill sits as her enforcer. And poor Mr. Henderson, trembling, completes the trio. I state my case, calm, logical, highlighter at the ready. The bylaws are on my side. For a moment, I think I see heads nodding. But Karen, smiling poison, shuts me down. The committee has determined that it's an aesthetic change. The fine stands. Bill bangs the table. Pay up and shut up. I see then, these people aren't bored, they're scared. I realize, this isn't about the door or the mat. It's about keeping people in line. So I play my card. Per Section 15, I formally request a copy of all financial records for the last 3 years. The room goes dead silent. Karen's smile falters. Bill's face turns purple. There's something on those records they don't want you to see. The war just escalated. From then on, they turn up the heat. Fines for grass an inch too long. Trash can on the curb too long. Word spreads that we're troublemakers. Maya hates going outside. I'm angry, but I keep calm. Uncle Mike calls. Don't let paper tigers push you around, but watch your back. The next day, our mailbox is flattened. Maya cries, silent tears for the dream home becoming a nightmare. I almost lose it, almost go over and start a fight. But I remember, if I stoop to their level, they win. Instead, I channel the anger. I draft a formal, lawyer-backed demand for the records, citing state law. Days later, a thick manila envelope shows up. Receipts, statements, invoices, deliberately disorganized, but that's my territory. I find inflated payments to Evergreen Solutions, a ghost landscaping company. No website, no registration, nothing. But it's not enough. Then Uncle Mike, talking about another fancy community, mentions a crew called Prestige Lawn Care does a house for Karen's sister, Sherry. That house. Same truck, only now with a magnetic Evergreen Solutions sign slapped on the side. I stake it out, snap photos. Bill shows up. Thank God he doesn't see me. I've got evidence. Our dues are paying for landscaping at Karen's sister's mansion. But as I keep digging, I find fake pool supply purchases, phantom roof repairs, and, biggest of all, a massive payment to Community Development Partners, LLC. The company is registered to Mr. Henderson, the timid board member. The twist hits hard. He's not a pawn. He's a partner. The three of them are running the scam together. I prep a full audit with charts and photos. The harassment ramps up, inspector visits, bogus complaints, Even our dog Gus gets targeted. Each new attack steals my resolve. I print 45 copies of my report, booklets for every neighbor, set up the clubhouse with a projector, and steel myself for the annual meeting. The night is electric, more people than ever before. Karen smirks at me, certain she's won. I wait till the end, then stand. Actually, Madam President, I have new business. I walk to the front, cue up my slides, and begin. Turn to page 3. I lay it out, the fake companies, the money trail, the photos. The room erupts. Karen demands I stop. I ignore her. I lay bare the betrayal. Henderson's Shell Company, the huge payout. Neighbors are furious. Bill snaps, lunges at me, but I sidestep. He crashes to the floor. Then, as if on cue, the clubhouse doors burst open. FBI agents walk in, real ones, badges and all. Marcus James? One asks. You just did half our job. They cuff Karen, Bill, and Henderson. Turns out their scam hit other communities, too. Millions stolen. My neighborhood watches, stunned, as the three are let out, justice finally catching up. After the dust settles, neighbors thank me. The woman Bill had silenced hugs me, her voice trembling. Thank you for giving us our neighborhood back. A new board is appointed, all bogus fines wiped out. The fear lifts. Block parties return. Kids play in the street again. Maya's hydrangeas bloom. Gus barks at the mailman, unbothered. And that illegal welcome mat? It's back in place, brighter than ever. Uncle Mike shows up for a barbecue, burger in hand. Told you, kid, never let a paper tiger in sensible shoes run you off, especially when you've got a mean spreadsheet. Maya leans against me as we look out over our hard-won patch of peace. If there's a lesson, it's this. Sometimes justice isn't loud. It's not fists or fury. It's steady, meticulous. Sometimes all it takes is a man who won't be pushed, a man who knows how to check the receipts. In the end, that was enough. Now, tell me, where do you draw the line? When does defending your home become something bigger? When does silence become complicity? Have you ever had to stand up, really stand up, against power that thought it couldn't be touched? Share your story. Let's talk about where justice ends and revenge begins. And for the love of all things neighborly, always check the receipts.